Today on the menu is a burger, but it's not just any burger. It's a goat cheese and sun-dried tomato stuffed burger. First thing I've got to do is prepare the goat cheese stuffing that's going in these burgers. Now I've got a couple tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes here. These aren't the kind that have been packed in oil, these are dry, so we're going to chop these up first, then they're going to go in the goat cheese with a little bit of olive oil before we mix it up. So we're just going to chop these down. They don't have to be tiny pieces, but we want to try and break down the biggest pieces. Just about like this. Now let's get this into the goat cheese with some olive oil and get it mixed up. I've got about 2 ounces of goat cheese here. That's what we're working with. Get our sun-dried tomatoes in, and we're just going to drizzle a little olive oil. And we're just going to start mashing this together with a spoon, just so everything's incorporated like that. Now we're going to move on to chopping some shallots, which are going to go in the ground beef. So we have a fairly good-sized shallot here. We're just going to cut the ends off first, then we're going to chop this up. Hold on a minute. What is that? Is that a piece of shallot? Some goat cheese? We're going to have to keep an eye on this. Dice it as fine as you can. Now, I don't have great knife skills, so this is going to be diced as well as I can manage. If some of the pieces are a little bigger than others, that's fine. I give you permission. This is what we're looking for with the shallots. Now let's get it into the ground beef. So I'm starting with about 1/3 of a pound of ground beef here. That's about the size I want these burgers, 1/3 of a pound. Just gonna start forming this into a patty, a rough patty. Then I'm gonna create a small little well in the center, just like that. Maybe a couple inches across. I'm going to take a spoonful of our goat cheese mixture, push that down into that well, then we are going to bring the burger back over on itself, almost like you're creating a meatball again. Lift it up. Now, almost certainly some will leak out. That's all right. There's our first patty stuffed with the goat cheese sun-dried tomato mixture. I'm gonna stuff some more, and I'll bring you back when we head out to the Weber Kettle. All right, the Weber Kettle is coming up to temp. We're gonna be cooking these burgers today in cast iron, but first, we have to toast some buns. So let's get this cast iron pan heated up. I have the 2 Weber briquette baskets filled with charcoal. They're almost full, not completely full, but almost full. Those are going to be containing the charcoal, and I'm going to have the cast iron pan sitting over that. That way there's plenty of space for me to move it off the coals if it gets too hot. Give that a couple minutes to heat up, and then we'll get to toasting some buns. I'm going to get a little bit of butter on these buns before I toast them. Melted this on the kettle just a few minutes ago. Now this is not flavored butter. You could do that. You can make garlic butter, anything you want. Here go our goat cheese and sun-dried tomato stuffed burgers. Now remember I mentioned there's going to be some leakage almost certainly of that cheese coming out, and that's all right. Give this a check on its crusting. Give it just like 20 more seconds. Right, let's give these a flip. Let the pan heat up for a second there, and then flip it. Just another minute, we're going to take these burgers out of the cast iron pan, put them on the indirect side of the kettle, and let them finish indirect. Someone made a comment on one of my other cast iron burger videos saying, "You burned them." No, that's not burning, that's searing the outside. Get a crust on them. That's what cast iron's good for. All right, we are gonna move these indirect now. pan off. Remember when you're working with cast iron? Good gloves. All right, we're gonna put the lid on now and we will check these burgers in about 10 minutes. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Let's give these a check. I'm shooting for an internal of 145 and we're just at 103 right now. So we've probably got another 10 minutes to go. Let's get the lid back on. All right, our second 10 minutes is up. Let's have a look. Good looking burgers. Got a little bit of cheese coming out there. 144. You can see it's upside down. 145. Oh, we are done. Let's get these inside and build some burgers. All right, we are ready to finish building this burger. I have a piece of lettuce on the bottom bun. What I'm gonna put on top is something very simple. We already have a lot of flavor inside this. I'm just gonna put some very thinly sliced tomatoes and a little salt on top. So we have sun-dried tomatoes in there with the goat cheese and some tomatoes on top and just a little bit of salt. Then we top our burger. All right, let's cut into it and see what we have. That looks good. All right, time to taste. I gotta eat this before it falls apart. There's so much juice coming out of it. Here we go. That's good. There is something about a stuffed burger. I don't know exactly what it is. I actually prefer a burger stuffed with cheese to a burger with cheese on the top. And this goat cheese with those sun-dried tomatoes goes perfect in here. Goat cheese has that tangy bite to it. A little more tang than you would have with blue cheese, you know, for a blue cheese stuffed burger. In a way, it's a little more refreshing than blue cheese when you stuff a burger with it. And with those sun-dried tomatoes in there that we had a little bit of olive oil to help sort of soften them, that flavor just goes throughout the cheese. And with those diced shallots mixed into the meat, you get a nice oniony flavor throughout. If you did not want to use shallots, you could use onions. I like shallots because you get sort of that little hint of garlic with them. Now you could put anything you want on this burger, but when you've got goat cheese and sun-dried tomato stuffed in it and minced shallots mixed in with the meat, you have to ask yourself, do you need anything else?